chills that were out there with Grand Theft Auto that were trying to tell everybody, and you guys know this is true. For those of you guys that were out there that were trying to tell people that Grand Theft Auto 6 was not having a physical media release because they were trying to avoid the game being leaked, congratulations. You played yourself. You played yourself. That group. We are literally at this point in the meme because Grand Theft 6 has officially been leaked, ladies and gentlemen. I am not kidding. We have actual, real leaks for Grand Theft Auto 6. So it just happened not that long ago. It happened about, at the time of this segment, about like an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. Grand Theft Auto 6 got leaked online by a hacker group. And this is a developing story. So, forgive me if I'm not going to have everything, at the time. We're going to be following up on it because the hacker group has been threatening more leaks. They've already pretty much guaranteed there's going to be more leaks. So let me give you some context as to what's actually going down. So there is a group that has decided that it's in their best interest to felt Rockstar, okay? They decided that they are going to leak Grand Theft Auto footage, actual real Grand Theft Auto footage. This has been verified. You know how it's been verified? Because Rockstar and Take-Two have been running around like chickens with their head cut off. They've been running around taking down everything. And I mean rapid fire. They've been taking down everything ASAP. So this is real, okay? I'm going to describe some of the leaks to you. I can't show you because I don't want to get struck. I don't want to get copyright struck for the most stupid reason. But I'm going to describe some of the leaks to you, okay? But before we do that, let's go over this article really quick. A group claiming responsibility for a supposed GTA 6 gameplay leak. It's not supposed. Ends an end to digital pre-orders. If publishers want revenue before launch, they can press on discs. Now, the most beautiful thing about all of this is that these hackers have turned it into war against the digital-only future with PlayStation and Grand Theft Auto. They actually specifically named Sony in their statement, which we're going to go over in a minute. They named Sony in their statement. They turned this into a huge fight against, a fight for physical media. So let's go over this and let's see. But all I'm going to say is that whoever is this group, whoever are these people, we are now past 5 stars. I hope you understand that. Rockstar and Take-Two is now officially at 6 fucking stars of threat level. You're about to have tanks sent after you. You're about to have choppers sent after you. It is war. Okay, it is fight against a fight for physical media. So let's go over this and let's see. But all I'm going to say is that whoever is this group, whoever are these people, we are now past 5 stars. I hope you understand that. Rockstar and Take-Two is now officially at 6 fucking stars of threat level. You're about to have tanks sent after you. You're about to have choppers sent after you. It is war. Okay? It is going to be war. This is the first shot back that people did. Chat, can we get some stars in the chat? Can we get 6 stars in the chat, boys? I need comments of 6 stars because that's the threat level we're at right now. Anyway, let's go over this and let's check this out. Things were getting a little too quiet around here. Just now, several new video clips of what really does look like actual GTA 6 footage leaked online and began to circulate rapidly. The clips appear to be coming from a website called CyberLeak and include footage of driving, Jason playing basketball, and what could be the game's entire map. It's a pretty brutal leak, especially just days before the big Netflix posted a gameplay reveal. Guys, all of this, I'm telling you right now, all of this is 1,000% planned. It is planned by design. They leaked it right now because this is the opportunity to felt them, right? And I'll be honest with you, is this going to affect the game sales? No, I don't think it is. But what this does affect is this does put a little bit of mud into the machine, right? The cog machine, that is the advertising, the marketing, and the taking advantage of gamers, especially through means of Netflix, for example. The fact that they're trying to paywall early access to a trailer, this kind of shit, this is what felts them, right? It's not about felting them on the sales aspect, ruining the hype. It's about getting ahead of the nonsense of these marketing teams and the fact that they're trying to, early access sell you trailers and all this bullshit. That's what it really is going to do. That's really the maximum. And also, too, it's funny. It's really funny. But anyway, so let's go over it. You already, by the way, the shills, they're angry. They're angry, bro. You got people out there on X that are literally like, oh my God, I can't believe somebody would do this to Rockstar. Brother, are they your family? Why are you Really? Like, oh, leaks are bad. Leaks are terrible. Why would you do this to Rockstar? All they're trying to do is give us an amazing game. I have seen it all. I have seen it all. Anyway, so the website's called CyberLeak, and they include footage of a bunch of things, which we'll go over in a second. Apart from the gameplay itself, what's interesting about this is the hacker group itself and what it claims to represent. The CyberLeak website contains a lengthy manifesto railing against the rise of monetization schemes in video games, such as live service titles, the selling of digital licenses to games instead of actual ownership, locked content on discs under the guise of DLC, and games being shut down entirely. Every year, anti-consumerism tightens its grip, and every year gamers get less for what they pay for. You know what's crazy? I covered the other day, probably like a couple of weeks ago, I covered the story about Anonymous. Do you guys remember when Anonymous put out that message to Sony? And essentially, you know, not that they threatened them or anything, but like we kind of saw the writing on the wall. We kind of knew like something was about to go down. And even though it wasn't Anonymous that supposedly did this, realistically, something was going to go down. It was only going to be a matter of time, right? Whenever a company does something like this, you're always going to have big groups like this decide to take it in their own hands and do a little bit of vigilantism. It does happen, unfortunately, but that's what it is. So CyberLeak claims that it's raising funds for a secret project that it won't disclose, and it lists 3 commandments that it expects video game publishers to adhere to. It claims that if a publisher breaks one, it will target them. It will not stop until they issue a public statement and apology, with a concrete commitment to be better. Words are not enough. Restitution is mandatory. It's from those commandments that we can maybe piece together why CyberLeak appears to have targeted GTA 6 specifically. One of the commandments does not appear to apply to the game, at least not yet or not publicly. That's number 3, which calls out the need for offline fallback states for single-player content in games so that single-player games cannot become unplayable when servers shut off. We don't know one way or the other how this impacts GTA 6, but suffice to say it doesn't appear to be in any danger of having its single-player campaign shut down anytime soon. Commandment number 2 is a prohibition against fake single-player DLC, or including content in the game at launch that then requires an additional purchase to unlock. This could be an issue CyberLeak has taken with GTA 6 specifically, though it's a bit murky. GTA 6 launches with tons of extra vehicles, cosmetics, and salon and other bits and bobs locked behind the game's Ultimate Edition, which costs $20 more than a regular one. When someone pays USD 70 plus for a game, they bought the data. CyberLeak writes all of it. Selling them a file that flips lock true to lock false for a single-player mission, character, weapon, or story is charging them twice for the same product. I agree. Again, like this whole thing, guys, they wanted to charge you $100 for GTA 6. Can we be honest? Can we just be honest here? They wanted to charge you $100 for GTA 6. They thought they could sell you the story of them being the good guy by releasing an $80 standard edition that basically takes out a ton of content from the $80 version and then sells it back to you in the $100 version. So I don't want to hear this bullshit about, oh, they're so amazing. They could have sold it for, they could have sold it for more. Yeah, I don't want to hear that. They wanted $100 for the game for them to give you the actual GTA 6 that you actually want. Anyway, so let's keep going. But really, Commandment 1 is the most easy accusation to point to GTA 6 as it's a statement against digital pre-orders. No consumer shall pay for a game through digital storefronts before release and independent review. Physical pre-orders for tangible media remain permitted. Pre-orders were not created for gamers. That's true. That's true. They were created because physical discs had manufacturing limits. In digital distribution, there is no inventory. There is no stock shortage. A digital copy cannot sell out. Yet publishers kept the pre-order system and stripped only consumer benefit. Now gamers pay early and receive nothing in return except a countdown timer and a cosmetic skin. If publishers want revenue before launch, they can press discs, print boxes, and put them on shelves, earn that money through physical production. And that's literally what Grand Theft Auto 6 is doing. Taking digital pre-orders, there's no physical edition of the game at launch, so no possibility for physical ones. It's also possible it's a combination of both 1 and 2 that's pissing them off. On that, it appears to have targeted Rockstar explicitly due to its high profile. If they can reach Rockstar, no one is safe. Behave or be the next target. Damn. CyberLeak will continue to disrupt their operations until they issue a public statement and apology with a concrete commitment to fix the harm they cause. No private negotiations, no quiet settlements. The public sees it or the leaks do not stop. Now, let me talk about the leaks. The first video I saw was Jason. Is that the name of the main character or something like that? Jason, basically at the balcony of his house. And what he was doing was he was just overlooking the house. They were walking around the house, and he ends up going to the outside on the bottom floor, and he plays basketball. And basically, you have essentially like a basketball mini game, right? That was number 1. Really simple, basic stuff. Number 2 was Jason driving his car. He was doing a burnout. He was doing a burnout in his car. He ends up crashing into another car. He ends up beating up the guy who gets out of the other car. and then he steals his wrench, and then beats him nonstop with the wrench, basically. So that's number 2. The third leak was them leaking the entire map. So they leaked the whole map of Grand Theft Auto 6, which to my knowledge has been leaked in the past. But this one's a little bit more detailed. It's got like the name of locations and stuff. So that's also been leaked. Now, CyberLeak, a couple of hours ago, threatened that they were going to leak even more stuff. They said they got 3 or 4 more leaks on the way. But there's a couple of problems with this, okay? Number 1, if you look at CyberLeak's Twitter page, if you look at it, they didn't use a VPN. Not that a VPN is going to be like the end-all be-all, but they didn't use a VPN. It says that they logged in via United States app. And it didn't have the VPN star next to it either. So that's rough. That's not good. Exactly, yeah, 6 stars. And, number 2, again, this is going to go down in history as one of the biggest feltings known to man. Because, yes, it is funny to do this. It's funny to look and see Rockstar just get all the wind taken out of them because they were so excited to, charge you to watch it on Netflix. That is funny. But this is going to, bro, I would not be surprised if Rockstar lawyers and Take-Two lawyers did not go to the judge to get a subpoena almost immediately today. I would not be surprised if they didn't get a subpoena to X for the identity of this man. I would not be surprised. Either IP addresses or whatever the case, these guys are going to go fucking nuclear on this dude, whoever this is. Now, I know people are trying to say, well, what if it's marketing? It's not. This is not marketing, boys. The reason why I know it's not marketing is because, number 1, that would be fucking over relations with Sony as well. That would be fucking over with them and messing with them because Sony's involved in this also. But number 2, the main reason why I don't believe that this is marketing is because CyberLeak has been promoting a meme coin at the same time as doing this leak stuff. So I highly doubt that they would be promoting a meme coin and opening themselves up to an ungodly amount of nonsense if this was some internal marketing campaign in order to drum up drama or something like that. So I don't think it's fake. I don't think this is some Rockstar employee or something like that. I truly believe it's a hacker group that is out here trying to just fuck with Rockstar. And it seems like they're not going to just stop at Rockstar. It seems like they're going to target multiple different companies, which is not good because, again, you're making yourself very well known. At this point, you're going to go 6 stars with every company. Every single company. So, we are about to watch what biggest moments in gaming history go down. I really do believe that. I think that this is going to be a moment that we're all going to remember, especially if he keeps leaking stuff. Dude, I think this is going to be so bad, it's not even funny. Realistically, guys, again, these leaks are 100% real, okay? The fact that Take-Two and Rockstar are going as hard as they are to try to take it down, these guys are not playing around. These guys are not playing around. And I can't help but think to myself that they had this coming. They had this coming. Realistically, there's no way that you're going to fuck with people to the level that Rockstar and also Sony have been doing for who knows how long. There's no way you're going to fuck with people like that and expect somebody not to do something. I understand vigilantism, all that stuff, I get it, but somebody with way more knowledge is going to felt you back. That's just how it's going to go. So, in any case, this story is crazy. It continues to go even crazier. Again, look at this. GTA 6 leaker CyberLeak is now threatening to keep leaking material until Rockstar or another publisher publicly apologize and promise a change. Do you really think they're going to apologize? Do you really think they're going to announce publicly they're going to change? What are they going to do? They're going to be like, okay, well, thanks to this group felting us, we're now going to publicly say that we're going to support physical media. They're not going to do that. They don't care. They really don't care at the end of the day. So we'll see. I'll tell you this. We'll see what ends up happening. We're going to follow this story. I guarantee you within the next 24 to 48 hours, we are going to have a huge update on this story. I can only imagine. Either this guy's going to get fucking arrested, or I don't know, or there's going to be more major leaks. He's talking about leaking like a 30-minute video. He's talking about leaking a 30-minute video. So we'll see what ends up happening. And once I have more information, I will gladly tell you. But all I'm saying is there's a war going on right now over Grand Theft Auto 6. It is live and it is happening right now.
Yeah.
How obviously racist do we have to be? Where somebody says, wait, now, that's not right. I think it's not right. But, you know, is there any line in the sand? Just tell me this.
Is there what?
Any line in the sand when Trump asks you and your cohorts to do something, and it's one step too far. Is there one for you?
I think a violation of the Constitution.
Oh, that's been done.
How scary is that? The millions of Americans that support the president we have today don't support them because of reason, don't support him because of fact, don't support him because of logic. They don't support him because of anything in alignment with reality. They support him out of hate and disdain for you, if you are a black person, right? And once again, the fact that we have had 20 people come up here and vocalize their explicit hatred for black people, instead of giving one argument for why they support Trump. One reason, talking about the economy, talking about his policy, immigration, foreign affairs. No, it's just the N-word. So if you're a black person, brown person, if you're BIPOC, MAGA hates you.
Okay, just watch this. 5,000 Trump supporters ran to hide from the storm and ended up sheltering inside the African American History Museum. Think about that for a second. The same MAGA movement soaked in Christian nationalism, the same crowd that cheers on Patriot Front racists marching around D.C., the same people who shit on black history and push more institutional racism, they mock black communities every day. They deny racism even exists. Then the second their asses are in danger from the rain, where do they run? Straight to the African American Museum for shelter. It's pure hypocrisy. It's so not reciprocal. They spread so much hate toward black Americans and then huddle under the actual banner of their history museum like it's nothing. This moment feels incredibly symbolic. These MAGA supporters expose their own contradictions in the most embarrassing way possible. What a perfect picture of the movement Donald Trump built.
There is absolutely nothing that MAGA folks won't blame on people of color. Not because folks of color are actually to blame for any of those things, but because it's all MAGA knows. If you're out of work, it must be because an immigrant of color or a black person took your job. If your taxes are too high, it must be because of welfare payments going to those people. Never mind the contradiction of saying that they take all the jobs, but also take none of the jobs because they're too busy relying on welfare rather than working. It can't be both, guys. You gotta pick a lane, right? Kid didn't get into the college you wanted. Well, it must be because a person of color got preferential treatment and stole their slot, even though the Supreme Court has essentially ended race-based affirmative action. You can't afford a home. Well, it must be because immigrants are taking all the homes and driving up the costs. Forget for a minute that they're also the ones building most of the homes, thereby driving down the cost. But, you know, whatever. Scared of crime? Well, it must be because black and brown folks and migrants are making the cities unsafe. Forget for a minute that crime is actually dropped, even as immigration has gone up, and immigrants have lower crime rates than American citizens, but, you know, whatever. When the pandemic hit, oh yeah, that was the fault of Asians, people of color, and their open-air markets. When a door flew off a plane a couple years ago, Elon blamed it on a DEI program for pilots, and when a barge brought down a bridge in Baltimore, the right blamed it on the DEI mayor, which is just their new word for the N-word. To MAGA, white folks are never to blame for anything. Black and brown folks are to blame for everything. Why? Because MAGA is a racist cult. If your answer for every problem in America is people of color, you're a racist by definition. If your answer is Jews, you're a Nazi. And in either case, you deserve to be crushed utterly and without pity or mercy.
A Trump supporter just got caught on camera being racist to a Somalian couple in a Cinnabon in Wisconsin, and the video went so viral that she ended up getting fired. Just watch.
Which one I see your body makes you a better person?
Are you recording? I'm gonna record you.
Yes.
Do you want me to throw water on you? I am racist.
So
and you are an I am racist, and I'll say that to the whole entire world. Don't be disrespectful.
You ruining your life, by the way. Oh, you're talking about respect? You're talking about respect? You are fired from this place. You're not gonna be working here. Look how you talking about ugliness?
But as I mentioned, that video went incredibly viral, getting millions of views on different platforms. So much so that Cinnabon responded saying, "We've seen the disturbing video from the Cinnabon in Wisconsin, and we don't condone this behavior." The former employee was immediately terminated by the franchise owner. "Their actions do not reflect our values or the welcoming experience every guest deserves." Fired. F-A-F-O. Everything she said, everything she did in that video was just so disgusting. And now she's out of a job, facing the consequences of her actions. But maybe she can get a job in the Trump administration. I'm sure they'll take her.
Here's something I've noticed about human nature. People don't always become different overnight. Sometimes they just stop pretending. That's what makes this conversation so fascinating. The biggest political of the last decade might not be who changed. It might be who finally felt comfortable showing us who they already were. Family, please subscribe. Let's continue watching, and then I'll be back with more commentary. Full credit goes to the original creators of these videos. Thank you.
That is a very disturbing video. You got a white guy in the face of a black woman on purpose because he's trying to be intimidating and to scare her, to try to make her cry, to try to make her feel inferior. Racism and hate. So whoever you are, I'm talking directly to you. You are a piece of trash. Because the reality is you just assaulted that innocent woman. And you did it why? Because she's black? You're a disgrace to the United States of America. Again, you're a piece of trash. Because I tell you what, he wants to pretend that he's a badass. The only reason he's doing that is because Donald Trump became president, and he knows that Donald Trump is like him. He's this white dude that wants to be above everybody else. He wants to make everyone feel inferior. Let me tell you what this Latino's saying. You need a freaking kick in the balls, number one. Number two is you should be put in jail for assault. Number three, the entire world should put you on the internet and saying, you see this piece of trash? You see what he's doing? He's assaulting women. He's assaulting minorities. He doesn't like anyone who's not him. You're not a tough guy. You're just some piece of shit.
And here we have another self-proclaimed patriot proving that courage, apparently, means verbally abusing and challenging a black woman to a fight. Nothing says strength quite like picking a fight with a black woman. If this is what making America great again looks like, it's a pretty sad definition of greatness.
I said, excuse me. Go back. Where are you from? I said, excuse me. Don't be rude. You're the one that's rude. No, I said, excuse me. I'm trying to buy something. America. You're in America. So what? That's none of your business. Stay out of it.
I don't need to stay out of it.
I said, excuse me.
For everybody to hear. Stop being ignorant.
The nigger's calling me ignorant. Oh,
yes.
My goodness.
Mexico and all that stuff.
Oh my goodness. You are very rude. No, you're the one that's rude. I said, excuse me, because I'm trying to grab my medicine. You told me. You know what you told me. Yes, I said, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. Just go on. Just go on. Whatever. Get out of here. No, I'm not going to get out of here. No, I'm not. Because this is my country. Yes, this is my country. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. I don't care. I don't care what you want or not.
No. Leave me alone. No. Yeah.
How rude. How rude. Give her the... Leave me alone.
This is inappropriate. No, ma'am. It's inappropriate.
Sweet baby Jesus. Y'all, I was so disturbed when I saw this video. There was countless problems that I had with this video. From the fact that MAGA is so bold. All of the MAGA crew thinking that they're entitled to tell a person that they feel it's not Caucasian, that they don't belong here. If y'all paid attention, not only did she insult what I am assuming is a lady of Mexican descent, and prevent her from getting her medication off that show, she proceeds to call that black woman up. Yo, don't you sometimes watch these things and be like, I wish a motherfucker would?
Why do you support Trump?
because you're getting rid of all the illegal Mexicans.
Why do you specifically just want to get rid of people who are Mexican?
Because the Mexicans in Southern California are ruining this place.
No, they're
Crime. Yes, listen, you don't live here.
I do live in Southern
live
California.
here?
I live in Los Angeles. Mexicans here in Los Angeles make this city
Dirty.
and county a
Dirty.
significantly better area to
Dirty.
live in.
Dirty. Right.
No, you're a dirty people. The fact that you just consider people who are Mexican dirty is a disgusting racist trope perpetuated by bigots such as yourself that don't actually base any of their positions on facts but instead emotions. You're the same type of people that tell us not to get vaccinated. Watch. Do you think the COVID vaccine was safe and effective?
It was not effective.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? These are the people who don't believe in science. These are the people who don't believe in science. So their whole notion here of quote unquote dirty is simply them just being a bigoted racist people. And actually not a description of actual reality because they don't believe in science. They don't believe in facts. He's a tinfoil hat, bigoted, snowflake, triggered idiot.
I really genuinely believe that if
And he's an idiot too for believing that the shit was safe and effective. It really wasn't. I understand he calling out racism, but at the same time, if he believed that shit was safe and effective, that motherfucker brainwashed. Because it came out that it's not safe and effective. And no, we do not trust the science. But he did call him out on the racism, though.
vote, if you triple trumped, then you are all about preserving the lack of culture in white America that has led us to where people go and Bible thump with their AR-15s. Like, that's the only thing that I see when you get all white people together in the United States. There's no culture at all. So they have to go borrow culture from people. Even the word woke, they've borrowed from black culture. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel. Quit watching NBA basketball. Quit watching sports that are dominated by African Americans. Quit going to Mexican restaurants. You want white culture, you go fucking live in it. But do not participate in any of the shit that makes America cool. And what makes America cool is multiculturalism. And if you want to triple Trump, and you want to browbeat DEI, and you want to browbeat gay people, and you want to browbeat black people, as you've been doing for 400 years. And you want to browbeat this generation of immigrants that come over here and open up businesses earnestly, pay their taxes. You want to demonize them and call them rapists and felons and all this shit when the felon is the teeny weeny mushroom cock piece of shit, Kankles McTaco tits at the top of the ticket. I have fucking had it from top to bottom. White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel, because nobody wants to see your fucking smug ass, teeny weeny, pink arm, big gut around. Nobody wants to see that shit. No.
I have no doubt in my mind that the map's gonna pass. If y'all can give us less than 0 seats, you would do it. Y'all do this under the orders of somebody that said the Civil Rights Act was harmful to white people, that it caused reverse racism. RFK said that black children are overfilled on antidepressants and that they need to be reparented on different forms. All of them. Pete Hegseth constantly brings Doug Wilson to the Pentagon to give a prayer service. Doug Wilson is the same pastor that said that slave owners were on strong spiritual ground. I don't have no belief in no morality on anybody that follow Donald Trump. If you wasn't with this map, you wouldn't be underneath this president. You wouldn't be in your party. You would stand up, you would stand against it, you would speak out about it. So as far as I'm concerned, if you here as one of these Trump Republicans, you already showed us who you are. You showed us what you want to do. And I believe the country as a whole is rebuking your party. Y'all are in a death spiral. That's why y'all have to refish. That's why y'all have to cheat. That's why Trump got to go to Texas and say he entitled to 5 more seats. It's because what y'all doing is abhorrent. But the beautiful thing is, the children that y'all have made and the people that's younger than y'all don't support none of this racism that y'all want. The MAGA party is the last breath of the Confederacy. And I'll be happy to see millennials and Gen Z bury y'all. There will be no more of your party. The midterms gonna come, y'all gonna get wiped out. Trump gonna get dragged out of the White House, and I'm gonna love every second of it.
The rest of us in America don't want you guys here. Ryan, without the community, Moocher, you don't have a job, you're living off the system. These Somali people don't have to pay for you all the time, do they? Why are you mooching off your Somali neighbors? You don't have a job. You don't work, you lazy bum. Why don't you work?
First of all, much respect to Cardinal Glass Industries for finding out that this dude is out here being racist and deciding he doesn't represent our company, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of his ass. And by all means, racist, listen. Don't listen to me. Continue being racist in front of cameras. Like, don't allow me to stop you from standing 10 toes down on your racism. If you're out there calling people racial epithets, or you're out there criticizing people for the way they look or whatever, their lifestyle's different from yours, and someone pulls out a camera phone, by all means, stand on your morals. Be bold with your racism and your homophobia and your misogyny and your hate and bigotry. Be bold with it. We want to know who you are. Please, by all means, keep outing yourselves. Now, I haven't heard about an actual GoFundMe going up or a Give Send Go going up for this couple yet, but I'm sure it's coming, because I got on X today and there are a bunch of MAGAs out there who are like, yo, Patriots, can we help this couple out? Can we get them a job? Is anybody out in the Minnesota area can hire this Patriot? Like, it's so crazy how easy it is to become popular in the MAGA movement. All you gotta do to be popular in the MAGA movement is go publicly as a racist, be outed publicly as a racist, and then get a Give Send Go up out there and watch how fast they sprint to donate to that cause.
So every election changes laws. Some change taxes, some change immigration policy, some change foreign affairs. But every once in a while, an election changes something much harder to measure. It changes what people believe is socially acceptable to say in public. And that's where politics moves beyond government and then starts reshaping culture. Let's say for a second, social psychologists have studied this for decades. Human beings constantly read the room. We change how we speak depending on who's listening. At work, around family, with close friends, or online. That actually doesn't necessarily mean our beliefs changed. It means our willingness to express them changed. Sometimes leadership doesn't create attitudes. It changes which attitudes people think are acceptable to display. Power often changes its language before it changes its policies. Now, this is the part people rarely talk about. Every political movement attracts different kinds of people. Some support it because of taxes, others because of immigration, others because of religious beliefs, others because they simply dislike the alternative. And then there are people who see a movement as permission to express ideas they previously kept private. Those groups aren't automatically the same. Confusing them makes it harder to understand what's actually happening. If we are going to criticize a movement, we should be precise rather than paint millions of people with one brush. Precision is stronger than outrage. For Black Americans, this discussion feels familiar. History has shown that prejudice doesn't always disappear. Sometimes it becomes quieter. And after the civil rights movement, discriminatory attitudes didn't vanish overnight. Many simply became less publicly acceptable. That's why moments of open hostility can feel less like something entirely new and more like something old becoming visible again. History doesn't disappear because people stop teaching it. Sometimes it simply loses its disguise. I've always found this interesting. Social media didn't invent conflict. Television didn't invent conflict. Neither did politics. They simply magnify what's already there. When videos go viral, showing people arguing in grocery stores, airports, or parking lots, they actually capture attention because they are dramatic. But they don't automatically represent everyone who shares the same political label. At the same time, repeated incidents can raise legitimate questions about broader cultural trends. The challenge is separating patterns from stereotypes. That's where honest conversations begin. There's another thing worth thinking about. Strong societies don't measure themselves by how people behave when everything is easy. They measure themselves by what people do when they are angry. Economic stress, political division, fear, those moments reveal character more clearly than prosperity ever could. Character isn't tested when life is comfortable. It's tested when emotions are running high. At the end of the day, family, this conversation isn't really about one political party. It's about human behavior. Do leaders merely reflect what's already inside a society, or do they shape what society eventually becomes? Maybe the answer is both. Leaders influence culture. Culture influences leaders. And ordinary people decide every day which values they choose to normalize. Because history shows us something important. The greater danger isn't disagreement. It's reaching a point where respect for others, respect for other people's humanity becomes optional. What do you think, family? Did recent American politics create deeper division, or did it simply expose divisions that had existed all along? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Government for genocide and treason. Local police run human trafficking rings and modern day slavery, mainly through the prison industrial complex. They infiltrate and indoctrinate our family members in the secret societies. Okay, all the so-called handlers that use what's called voice to skull and synthetic telepathy are actually employed by corrupt ass police through the prison industrial complex. These police are involved in secret societies and cults. They're Freemasons. They manipulate and infiltrate our family members, okay? COINTELPRO never ended, neither did MK Ultra, okay? Modern day slavery, okay? This technology is used to try to pretty much drive people crazy and rid them from society. It's called voice to skull synthetic telepathy, okay? It's also a form of psychological torture, okay? Ran and administered by the Central Intelligence Agency, okay? So they wake people up at specific times, okay, that are aware of their systems, okay? The first time I was actually arrested in September of 2006, okay, I was implanted with central neural implant. I witnessed human trafficking, sex trafficking, and pretty much organized crime, all within the system by police themselves and criminal networks that are actually employed by the corrupt ass police. So this is systematic, okay? I'm being illegally, systematically targeted. I'm tortured, okay? Cyber torture victims are essentially victims of government genocide. This is psychotronic weaponry that is trying to make you snap and resort to violence. Don't resort to violence, resort to exposure, because that's what I do, okay? The Central Intelligence is complicit in genocide and treason, so is the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Okay, these are control systems that are violating what's called the Geneva Convention and the Nuremberg Code, okay? This technology is used to manipulate and control, brainwash, dumb down, and enslave people, okay? Once implanted or vaccinated with this technology, it allows illegal surveillance through your own eyes, tracking of your own biological resonance, and just like, you can beam the voices or transmit voices in the cell phones wirelessly, okay? Well, guess what? You can do that to the body, the brain, okay? And the brain is actually electromagnetic. So this is what the Central Intelligence Agency has been doing for decades. You can see it's been
and this is why Yuval Noah Harari said humans are hackable animals.
Countless victims, okay, of this technology being used. Research Myron May, okay? Even Kevin Shipp, which is a CIA agent himself, a good CIA agent, okay, he admitted this technology was being used on a wide basis by these government agencies. So they're torturing people, beaming voices in people's heads, all under the guise of a fake pandemic, and trying to remotely suicide people if they can meet an algorithm, okay? This is, I believe it is the mark of the beast, okay? This is non-consensual neural technology. I didn't consent to this, but they're trying to break you and get you to give in. Okay, well, I've been going through this since 2017. It's psychological harassment. All my so-called gang stalkers are nothing more than a bunch of homosexual cowards, just like I said, that are employed through Baltimore City Detention Center by corrupt correctional officers and local police, okay? They infiltrate the family members, okay, through their systems, then use these little criminal cowards to cover up crimes against innocent people. So they criminalize the innocent. These so-called cults, okay, frame people, okay, and a lot of people are involved in cults or secret societies, okay, right next to you, okay? And these sick bitches act as victims. I get death threats through voice to skull. They're gonna kill that nigga. Damn, he's smart. They torture me, okay? They attack my neurological system. I have internal bleeding, okay? They attack your digestive system. And they try to actually have you to see a psychiatrist in order to cover up premeditated murder and crimes being committed by the state. This is the weaponization of federal agencies and the infiltration and indoctrination of family members in the cults. So they make it look like you're trying to kill somebody or you did something wrong when realistically this is a network full of criminals that are trying to kill you to keep a corrupt ass system full of Satanism, human trafficking, slavery, organized crime, and murder for profit going, okay? So all the people that are complicit in keeping this corrupt ass system going, well, guess what? I hope hey, the devil, Satan coming to collect, so he's going to take your ass first, okay? If that's what you worship. These demons, okay, need to be purged off the face of the earth. They torture people, psychologically, they just won't stop, okay? They won't stop. I've been tortured 24/7, okay, since 2017 by these criminal networks and organizations, okay? Local police complicit, federal agencies complicit, and they've had the family involved in trying to actually cover it up, the crimes of the state. That's right. Try to say, oh yeah, you're going to get your family killed. Okay? They want to control your mind. They want the government, this U.S. government want to control your mind. Okay? The whole fucking system is a lie. Okay? They've been using this technology to manipulate and control people for decades. Right. Torturing them, beaming voices and frequencies in their heads, creating drama and chaos. The Federal Bureau of Investigation and CIA are Nazi fucking terrorists and the main problem throughout the entire planet. Okay? These are global control systems from within that nobody consented to, that they're trying to essentially force upon the entire world through death threats, torture, psychological operations, psychological warfare, and they trying to cover this shit up. It's been so many people, okay, that speak of the same things, and this system really think it continue and go on. I can't wait till they burn this bitch down, okay? Now, I don't encourage violence or anything of that nature, but it seems like that's what the fuck need to happen for these people in Washington, D.C. to get it. Okay, the biggest criminals reside in D.C. They know this technology being used on the mass. They know that government is corrupt as hell. And what they have done over the course of 67 years, create an authoritarian control system from within through infiltration. Essentially, it's unfair to manipulate and control people through their system. If you don't give in, they fraudulently place you on the terrorist watch list, have you targeted by the community abroad, and try to have you pretty much eliminated from this system, okay? So gang stalking is organized crime by government agencies and criminal networks from within. It's treason and it's genocide. It is attempted cover-up. If you're a victim of cyber torture like I am, oh yeah, they have your family members involved and say, hey, maybe you should go see a psychiatrist, okay? This is systematic corruption meant to try to strip you away from your rights, and once the state actually have your family involved in the cover-up, you know, they're mind-controlled slaves. They think it's easy to cover up crimes that are being committed against you, even if you disappear, okay? So psychiatry is used as a form of social control to strip you of your rights, and psychiatry is also used to cover up premeditated murder by the state, because you're considered a national security threat when you wake up and you know what the fuck is going on and how the system actually truly operates, and you expose this. Oh yeah, why would you be considered a national security threat? Because anybody, okay, that realized that they was born into a fucking lie and everything is a lie, everything is manipulated, controlled, they're going to be pissed, okay? They're going to be fucking pissed, okay? Sure, you will be. They will say you're a national security threat because they lied about every fucking thing. You don't have no human rights. They strip you of your human rights. The uses of this technology supersedes any rule of law, order, due process, and allow criminals to remotely manipulate your body, okay, being voices and frequencies in your head, psychologically harass you and try to get you to resort to violence. Because this is what the government wants. If they can't control you, they want you dead.
Yep, facts. Yep, you already know what it is.
86% of the hip hop industry is owned by white men. 75% of that is Jewish. There's only 2 women of color. One of those women of color is an Indian woman. When somebody says, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist for saying that the music is controlled and there's an agenda," there's not an agenda. You're just thinking too much into it. I really want y'all to think about that statistic alone. That ain't a lot to remember. 85 white men, 75% Jewish white men. 2, only 2, not 2%.
Just
2 women of color, and one of them is Indian. There is an agenda. There's always an agenda. By the way, Meg Thee Stallion don't even eat Popeyes.
Right.
Do with that what you will. But did you know this? Just thought I'd educate you on something. Stop listening to the shit. That's what the fuck you need to learn from this. Stop listening to the shit. 86%.
Police killed Felicia Williams, and now they're trying to cover it up. On January 5th, Felicia Williams was brutally pinned down by 6 officers, arrested and transported to the hospital. Before she was lifted onto the stretcher, she was unconscious and remained in a coma until her death on July 1st. Any decent person who saw barefoot Felicia with blood on her face, running away from 2 unidentified men, would have known that this woman was clearly in distress. Instead of offering support, resources, or even a ride, police attacked her. They threw her to the pavement before getting a name, a story, and even failed to ask a single question while she was handcuffed on the ground by her hands and feet. During this altercation, cops punched her back and head multiple times, stepped on her knees, and suffocated her. They also didn't find a single thing on her. No shoes, no ID, no weapons. For months after the arrest, the family was forced to fight for the most basic information about what happened, and it took legal action to obtain portions of the evidence from Evanston police. After getting half answers, the family has now filed a federal lawsuit against the city and 6 police officers for use of excessive force and failing to intervene as Williams showed obvious signs of medical distress. 2 Evanston police officers identified as using force in the arrest were placed on administrative leave, but both officers have since returned to duty. We must support the family and their demands for justice and transparency, and we must continue fighting to end the war on Black America. Jail killer cops now. Evanston police killed Felicia Williams.
Kill these fucking cops now and kill all these other racist fucks that's trying to stoke this motherfucking war. You know what? Fuck it. Let's start it. Y'all want this race war to start? Here's how we're going to start it. We're going to start killing cops. We're going to start killing feds. And any motherfucking racist people that love cops. And any other black people that love cops too. Y'all getting it too. Y'all black people that want to work in the motherfucking federal spots in the private sector and shit. The motherfucking black coons that work in the field that's supposed to be helping people but really don't. And all you racist fuckers that do systematic racism. We killing all you motherfuckers. See, this the shit that y'all really want. So, let's bring it.
And now they're trying to cover it up. On January...
And as the scripture says, there are those...
Oh my God, this fucking scripture shit. I ain't about to try to hear no fucking scripture, because ain't no scripture gonna fucking save us. I just need this fucking news. Now it's time to talk about it. Fuck the government, fuck the police, and fuck these racist ass, bitch ass killer cops. It's time to kill these fucking cops. Oh, that's inciting. Wow, I don't give a fuck. Y'all not gonna take me alive, though.
Not your friends. Please. Police are not your friends. Fuck 12, fuck a pig, die slow. The closer we get to a collective class consciousness, they have to further push things that are going to divide us. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Nothing is going to divide black people from white people more than a lynching. Because America refuses to address its sins. It refuses to wholly teach the history of America and what white people have done to black people and what white people have done to each other and what white people have done to every other minority group in this fucking country. It refuses to do it because they don't want your fucking kids to feel bad. Nigga, fuck your kids. Because when you don't tell the truth about what you did in this history, you saying fuck my kids. In order to have true class consciousness, we have to see a complete fall of white supremacy. Working class solidarity will have to be above racism, sexism, homophobia, and the belief in the myth of superiority. There's always something readily available to keep you from talking about the people at the top who are always looking down and figuring out how to maneuver us and use us as chess pieces against each other. And there's never enough time to take a pause down at the bottom and look up and say, hey, why the fuck ain't y'all dead? Because that's what it really come down to. Why do y'all get to kill us and receive tax cuts? You kill us with the food. You kill us with the prices of things. You price us out of our homes. You kill us when you put a data center in our neighborhood. You kill us when you kill my privacy. You kill us when you pull us over with your fucking task force of demonic ass policemen that only know how to protect the motherfuckers who boots they kissing. You kill us at no consequence. At the very least, you'll pay a fine. At the very most, you will be brought upon charges once you cut somebody out that has more power than you. There's no coincidence that in a time where both the right and the left are simultaneously understanding, hey man, I don't want no data center. I don't want no flock cameras. I'm tired of this influx of AI. And I'm tired of these billionaires telling us what they gonna do whether we vote for it or not. I'm tired of motherfuckers telling me that they're gonna use eminent domain to take my house if I don't opt to sell it. And this is my generational wealth. I'm tired of working 40 to 60 hours a week and not having enough to pay my rent. And I look around and everybody else can't afford to pay their rent, yet they keep raising the rent. So who the fuck can afford these homes? I'm tired of you telling me the gas prices was going down. Now that the gas prices is up and the produce is up and the groceries is up. And not only that, the healthy food is making me sick. The highly processed, mass-consumed food is making me sick. Everything is making me sick. Nobody is giving me any motherfucking help. Then, the general consensus to combat needing help is to make people feel like less of an American if you receive help, while the motherfuckers that run America always are getting bailed out, always are getting tax cut, and putting all their burdens on us while we sit here and complain about it, but we don't know what to do about it because they keep putting racist shit in the news that keeps us looking at each other as the enemy.
Yep. That's right. Now let me get up out of here. Just wanted to make some news real quick. We might have some more. Let's see.
The biggest illusion cast upon society is Rockefeller's system. In 1912, he created the working class, the slave, the medical system, the school system. And he flat out said, I'm not here to make a world full of billionaires, I'm here to make a world full of workers. So your children are automatically put into school starting at 4 or 5 years old, preschool. They're learning how to become an obedient slave to a system that tells them what to believe, what to think, what's right, what's wrong, that tells them you have to sit still or you are a problem. You are not allowed to be different. And if you are different, you're going to get bullied and outcast for it. Your teachers are going to call you a problem child. You're going to get labeled with ADHD. When in reality, you just need to move around because you're a child who's meant to explore and grow and evolve, not be confined to a desk for 8 hours a day. The medical system, our doctors, the people that are in control of our health, their education is solely based off of cannot give them a pill to keep their symptoms silent, then they're a lost cause. Any other form of healthcare is non-existent. It's wrong. It doesn't exist. Which is wrong. Herbalism, healthy supplements from plants changed my life. The biggest fucking lie that we are seeing people awaken through right now is the system as a society. The school systems, the medical systems, the 9 to 5, it is all a veil. Humans were meant to be here, to be free spirits, to explore, to connect with each other, not hate each other, and be separated by religions, by color, by race. We are here to unite as one, to live off the land, to live with the moon cycles, with the sun and the moon. Wake the fuck up and see what is really going on. You know, we have the government who pushes all this, the gang propaganda, drug dealers, this versus that. But then we have police who do the exact same thing that these gang members do. And let's face it, our justice system is designed
to help the criminals, not the police, and not the victims. Why is that? Because if we had a world full of healthy people, everyone would realize that the only purpose of human beings being here through the Rockefeller system is to make the elite richer and the poor poorer. Keep them sick, keep them hating each other. And here's the biggest problem. Worldwide, you see it everywhere on social media, the divide, the hate between Israel and every other country, between Russia and every other country, between the USA and every other country. Well, so everyone thinks our governments are at war and fighting each other and hating each other. Meanwhile, they're sitting there laughing at every single fucking one of you. They're making a joke of it because you're falling for the propaganda. It is all a scam. It is all a scheme to keep you in a low vibrational fear, to keep you from finding out the truth, to keep you from finding that calm and that peace within yourself to seek the truth. So ask yourself, are you really awake or are you still under an illusion? Have a good day.
Yeah. Shouts out to everybody. It's HHN in the morning. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.